The build-up to the rematch. The date is set, June 28, 1997. The MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas is once again the stage for a rematch that will go down in boxing history. The world is still buzzing about the shocking upset that took place in November 1996, when Evander Holyfield dethroned Mike Tyson to become the heavyweight champion of the world. Holyfield's tactical brilliance and Tyson's frustrations culminated in a stunning victory for the underdog. Tyson, once feared as an invincible force, had been brought down by Holyfield's grit and strategic intelligence. The build-up to this rematch was filled with animosity, tension, and personal stakes. Tyson's loss had shaken him, and the media scrutinized his every move, both in and outside the ring. Tyson's behavior had become increasingly erratic in the months following the loss. He was still known for his explosive power, but the question now was whether he could mentally and emotionally prepare for a second fight with the man who had already beaten him. Holyfield, on the other hand, was calm, composed, and confident. He had stunned the boxing world with his victory, and his self-belief was unwavering. He knew what he had done to win the first fight. He neutralized Tyson's power with movement, discipline, and head movement, while Tyson struggled to maintain his aggression and focus. Holyfield's camp had no doubt that they could do it again. Tyson, however, was restless. The pressure of defending his reputation, coupled with his personal struggles, made this rematch a pivotal moment in his career. The media frenzy surrounding the fight only fueled the flames. Fans were excited to see the two heavyweights face off again. Tyson was favored to win, as many thought he had learned from his previous defeat and would be better prepared mentally. Holyfield, however, had the edge in experience and was fully aware of Tyson's weaknesses, having exploited them in their first encounter. As fight night approached, Tyson's demeanor became more intense and unpredictable. Rumors began to swirl that Tyson, emotionally unstable and seeking redemption, was struggling to control his emotions. Some said he was too focused on avenging his loss and regaining his dominance. Others noted his increasing irritability, suggesting that Tyson was no longer the calculated, precise machine he once was. For Holyfield, it was business as usual. The calm champion was ready to defend his title and prove that his first victory over Tyson had been no fluke. The fight begins round 1 to round 3. The bell rings for round 1, and the atmosphere in the arena is electric. The crowd is buzzing with anticipation as both fighters make their way to the center of the ring. Tyson enters with his usual intensity, eyes locked on Holyfield, while Holyfield remains composed, circling and maintaining a distance. Both fighters exchange some early jabs, with Tyson looking to close the distance and land his devastating power punches. Holyfield, as he did in the first fight, utilizes his strategy of staying calm and using his jab to control the pace. Tyson's aggression is evident, but Holyfield's defense and movement are equally impressive. He ties Tyson up in clinches whenever Tyson gets too close, frustrating the former champion. Round 2 starts with Tyson more visibly irritated, trying to push Holyfield into a corner. However, Holyfield continues to be elusive, landing sharp counters whenever Tyson overcommits. Tyson struggles with his attempts to land a decisive blow, while Holyfield works the body and occasionally punctuates his offense with quick right hands. By round 3, Tyson begins to show signs of frustration. He is not landing the punches he anticipated, and Holyfield seems to be on the defensive, yet effectively outboxing him. Tyson's aggression begins to shift toward desperation. He's throwing punches with less precision, more out of anger than technique. The tension in the ring is palpable as Holyfield maintains his control. Tyson's eyes flare with frustration, but he still charges forward, seemingly determined to make his mark. Crowd watches on, unsure of how Tyson will react to this unexpected challenge. The first bite, round 3 to round 5. As the fight enters round 3, Tyson's emotional state starts to unravel. He is no longer simply trying to defeat Holyfield. There is an undercurrent of personal animosity, something that goes beyond the sport itself. Holyfield, with his composed demeanor, continues to frustrate Tyson with his technical boxing. He lands jabs to Tyson's face and counters with precision, but Tyson refuses to be deterred. Tyson is getting increasingly angry. His movements are becoming more erratic. In the midst of an exchange, Holyfield and Tyson collide. The two clinch, and as they are separated, Tyson's frustration boils over. Without warning, Tyson leans forward and bites Holyfield on the right ear. The crowd is in shock as Holyfield recoils in pain. Blood begins to trickle down Holyfield's face. The referee immediately stops the action, and Tyson is warned for his actions. Tyson's camp is in disbelief, while Holyfield and his corner try to recover from the unexpected attack. Tyson's rationale behind the bite, as he would later claim, was that Holyfield had headbutted him repeatedly, causing him to lose his temper. But no one could have anticipated such an extreme reaction. The fight resumes, but the damage has been done. Holyfield's ear is bleeding, and Tyson is visibly agitated. The bite becomes a focal point for the crowd, and the fight seems to shift into more chaos than combat. Tyson's frustration is palpable, and it's clear that he is no longer in control of the situation. The second bite, round 5. By round 4, Tyson seems to have calmed down slightly, but the tension is still hanging over him. He begins to land more punches as he becomes increasingly aggressive, still looking for a way to break through Holyfield's defense. However, Holyfield's ability to evade and counter Tyson's power is evident once again. Tyson's growing frustration leads to more reckless aggression. Then, in round 5, it happens again. The two fighters engage in another clinch, and this time, Tyson bites Holyfield on the left ear. The second bite is even more shocking than the first, as Tyson tears a piece of Holyfield's ear off. The blood flows again, and Holyfield is clearly in agony. The referee immediately calls a halt to the fight and brings the fighters to their corners. Crowd is in shock, some jeering, others confused and bewildered by Tyson's actions. Tyson's behavior has crossed the line, and there is no going back. The referee and the officials huddle together, discussing the next steps. Tyson's actions have left everyone in disbelief. He is disqualified from the fight, and the referee's decision is final. Holyfield is declared the winner by disqualification, and Tyson's reputation takes a massive hit. In the aftermath of the second bite, the world is left to wonder how Tyson, once considered one of the most feared and respected boxers in the world, could have fallen so far. The aftermath, Tyson's disqualification and consequences. In the immediate aftermath of the fight, the boxing world is in turmoil. The incident goes far beyond the ring. Tyson's disqualification for biting Holyfield's ears is the subject of heated debate, not just among fans, but also in the media and within the boxing community. Tyson's camp, still in shock, attempts to justify his actions, but the damage has already been done. The bite, a grotesque act of frustration and rage, has cemented Tyson's place as one of the most polarizing figures in sports history. His image as a ferocious, unbeatable fighter is now tarnished by his erratic and violent behavior outside the confines of the sport. Holyfield, on the other hand, emerges victorious in an odd and controversial fashion. Though he won the fight, there is no satisfaction in a victory that comes in such an unusual and horrific manner. He speaks about the incident with a sense of disbelief, but he also expresses his disappointment in Tyson's actions. It's clear that the fight, which many thought would be a showdown between two of the greatest heavyweights of their time, has instead become a spectacle of chaos and violence. The Boxing Commission takes swift action against Tyson. He is fined $3 million, and his boxing license is temporarily suspended. The world watches as Tyson, once the most feared man in the sport, faces the consequences of his actions. His future in boxing becomes uncertain, and many wonder whether this marks the end of his career as a dominant force in the sport. Tyson's image and legacy. The fallout from the fight has lasting consequences for Tyson. While he will return to the ring in the future, the bite fight will forever remain a dark chapter in his career. The incident, captured by cameras and broadcast around the world, has irrevocably altered Tyson's legacy. He is no longer simply known for his ferocious knockout power, but as a man whose emotional volatility and actions outside the ring became as much a part of his identity as his boxing skills. For Holyfield, the rematch is a reminder of the madness that Tyson was capable of. While he proved his superiority in the ring, the second fight will always be overshadowed by the controversy and the bizarre circumstances that unfolded. The Tyson-Holyfield II fight remains one of the most infamous and talked about events in boxing history, a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked aggression and the thin line between being a champion and being consumed by rage. The bite fight is not just a fight. It's a reflection of Tyson's troubled psyche, the unpredictable nature of sports, and the consequences of actions that cannot be undone. Tyson may have returned to the ring later, but this moment would always define him in a way that his victories never could.